Hey buds! In our part of the world, it is finally warming up. Our snowbanks are nearly gone and we are getting excited for the growing season. So, in anticipation for that, we thought we'd give you 10 tips to keep in mind when you're foraging for wild foods. Number 1, identification. You will see this one on pretty much every single list. But to quote a foundational piece of my childhood, if you don't 100% know what it is, then
don't you put it in your mouth, don't you put it in your mouth, don't you stuff it in your face, don't stuff it in your face, though it might look good to eat, though it might look good to eat, and it might look good to taste, and it might look good to taste, you could get sick, ick, real quick, ick, real sick, real ick.
Number 2, use technology. We live in a pretty amazing age where technology can really help us with a lot of different things. And this is no exception. When I started out, I found it was really helpful to put my smartphone to work. And my favorite app at the moment is called Seek, which is great because it adds layers of fun with challenges and badges, and it allows you to post your findings to iNaturalist, which is a great thing to do because it provides citizen science and helps further real research. So you get to explore and change the world. How cool is that? Just make sure that apps aren't the only tool you're using to ID your plants because they aren't always 100% right. And warning, your friends and family may not always appreciate your research. Number 3, start small. Don't bite off more than you can chew. See what I did there? But seriously, this isn't a race. You can get to know plants without putting them in your mouth. Try thinking of them as friendships and start cultivating a few plant friendships at a time. Spend some quality time with them, learn their scientific name, and once you're ready, then you can invite them into your kitchen. And start small there too. Just a little amount to make sure your friend is compatible with you. Number 4, you got this. I know in the foraging world, everything is prefaced with a warning, and that can be kind of scary, but mostly we just want you to be safe and healthy. It can be overwhelming, but you've got the skills to do this. You've been identifying foods your entire life, and this is no different. Think of, for example, an orange versus a grapefruit. They have similarities and differences, but you can generally puzzle out which is which before you take a bite, right? Number 5, know your poisons. Sometimes, rather than asking what can I eat, it's easier to ask what can't I eat. So it's a good idea to look up what plants in your area might be harmful to you so you have an idea of what to watch for. In our area of Saskatchewan, it's usually a good idea to keep an eye out for something like water hemlock. Number 6, know your rare plants and flowers. While you're getting to know what's in your area, it's a good idea to look up what is rare, endangered, or protected as well. Just because we're not putting a plant in our mouth doesn't mean we should be picking it willy-nilly. If you find something that's super cool or really pretty, please take a picture, or better yet, ID it with your phone app and submit it for science, rather than put it in a bouquet or dig it up. Most of our native plants actually don't transplant well because they take many years to establish, and they have special root systems that work with local fungi, and they don't do well when they're moved. Fun fact, a prairie crocus may take up to 5 years for its first bloom, but it can also live for up to 50 years. And the Cree name for them, Mustus otzi, I think, translates to buffalo belly button, which I kind of love. Number 7, know your area. This is important for a few reasons, some of which include not trespassing without permission, not getting lost in the bush or falling down a well, and not eating something that has been sprayed with horrible chemicals, because not everybody appreciates all the free food around them. So the best place to start might be your own backyard, because you know what's going on there. Number 8, find others. If you have someone nearby who can teach you, that is awesome. Count yourself lucky. If you don't, you can likely find an online group or maybe subscribe to a YouTube channel you like. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I will list a bunch of foraging people that I like following in the comments below. But the closer they are to you, the better, because otherwise you'll be like me and you'll be jealous while they are collecting their foraging bounties and you are stuck looking at snowbanks. Still, learning is always fun. Number 9, introduced versus native. You may actually be surprised to learn that a lot of the plants that you're used to seeing around your neighborhood aren't actually from around here. Dandelions? Nope. Creeping bellflower? Nope. Canadian thistle? Not even Canadian. So these plants tend to have a little bit of a competitive advantage on our native species and may get a little bit aggressive. So by adding them to your plate, you may be providing a little bit of pushback. On the flip side, native species tend to be ideal food sources for our local ecosystems, which is one reason I'm looking to plant more in my yard this year. So if you like to add more to your yard, your local birds and bees will thank you. And finally, number 10, be a ninja. I like the phrase, have an attitude of gratitude. So get out there, enjoy nature, the mental health benefits that it gives you, and all the free food that you now have access to. But make sure to read the situation. Don't take more than you will use. And when you make your exit, make it so stealth that people never knew you were there.
It's like the spiny flocks.